probably biggest medical device company in the world, at least top 1, 2, or 3. One of their top reps is a student here on Easton University. We had a discussion on Friday, a private on Friday, and we were talking about just kind of reversing, doing a little, not really even a switcheroo, but a rightaroo, the sales process. Because for the most part, people have it screwed up, all right? So I'm going to show you a simplified, what I cooked up in my pot of cooking. What I cooked up is a simplified kind of mindset that I want us to have today, tomorrow, and every day moving forward. I'm going to show you the Easton University sales process, the ESP, at the end. We won't spend a ton of time on that. But I'm going to show you something right here, right now that, boom, you're going to be like, holy crap. How everybody sells, including myself, how I did sell before I found my boy Matt Easton, is completely wrong. So let me show you really quick here the typical, nobody wants to be typical, the typical sales process, okay? I'm going to use the words fire extinguishers here. I know we're not selling fire extinguishers. I'm not trying to show you how to sell fire extinguishers. I'm using a metaphor of a fire extinguisher because fire extinguishers do what? Matt, they put out fires. Thanks, Kay Harris, for answering that question. Kay, see, I'm a ventriloquist. I literally just put words in Kay's mouth there. Pretty good. I'm pretty good. Okay, so here's the typical process. It's wrong! And we all do it. Typical process. I get hired. Yo, I got a territory. I got a quota. I got the world's best fire extinguishers. Let's go. Right? Or software, or financial services, or real estate, or insurance. I don't care. The fire extinguisher is a gosh darn metaphor. All right? So the typical process that is completely freaking wrong is, hey, if I could have 5 minutes of your time, I'd like to tell you about our fire extinguishers. Hey, Barrett, if I could have, 10 minutes of your time, man, super big fan of what you guys are doing out there. I noticed you filled out a lead request. I'd love to walk you through our fire extinguishers. Hey, Karen. Hey, Pat Oswald. Yeah, we work with CEOs just like you. What I'd love to do is set up a lunch and learn, buy you a little Chick-fil-A, nummy. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A sauce. I'd like to just walk you through our new version 2 of our fire extinguishers. Okay, then we quickly move into what? What the hell our product does, man. What did they say back in the old sales? But they didn't. When I went to college, they didn't have sales coaching. I don't think they have it today. But this crap, features, advantage, benefits, features, advantages, benefits, features, advantages, benefits, right? It's garbage. Pat, our fire extinguishers put out 99% of all fires. You guys hear this on the commercials that you ignore. That's marketing. That's not sales. Okay? Huge difference. So when we start with, hey, I'd like to tell you about our fire extinguishers. They put out 99% of fires. Then we move quickly because marketing's armed us with the damn case studies, which I want to just burn most of the time, put them in a dumpster, throw some gasoline on it, throw some damn gas on the fire. Our fire extinguishers will save you money. Let me prove it with some case studies. Right? Do you want to buy a fire extinguisher? And then Pat goes, no, I'm all set. Right? I'm all set. I'm all good. Thank you for the Chick-fil-A though. That was pretty good. I'm surprised you got it on a Sunday. It was old. I bought it on Saturday. I could tell. Sandwich was a little bit funky. See you next year, Matt. Right? The typical sales process is we don't even get somebody's attention. We just say we'd like to pick their brain or we'd like to show them something. Our fire extinguishers put out 99% of all fires. We just go right to what we do. Okay? They haven't even taken a breath. We haven't even let them talk about them. We talk about how we're going to help them, how we're going to save them money, how we're going to save them time, how we're going to help them lose weight, how we're going to help them live longer, how we're going to help them find a house, how we're going to help them sell the house. And then we ask them if they want to do some business. And then we're shocked when they don't want to do it, okay? Let me show you how the right way to do it, okay? This is how it should have been from the beginning. Shh. You guys hear that? Man, there's something going on, right? That's how we're going to get their attention. Hey, Pat, there is something that every CEO out there in Silicon Valley is having to deal with right now. Nobody's talking about it. I wanted to make sure you're aware of it. Could you give me a call on my mobile, 720-660-3202, right? Pat calls me back. Hey, what's going on? man, every CEO, they've got fires going on, right? And I'm using the word fires metaphorically, right? Every CEO is having to deal with password management. Everybody that's trying to sell their house right now is dealing with this overload of inventory. Everybody that's looking for life insurance right now is being bombarded with policies and sub-policies that actually don't give them even close to what they need, but they can't tell the difference when they look at the policy on paper. How are you dealing with that, right? The formula, guys, and it ain't that secret of a formula. It's common gosh darn sense. Yet there's not a lot of common sense in sales because a lot of the people coaching sales never sold anything. And half of them worked in marketing. Marketing is a one-directional conversation, which is why most of the sales books out there are one-directional conversations. Right? I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff down your throat. When you push back on me, I'm going to overcome it. That's not how you sell. Let them know, man, here's a secret. Here's an insight. Hopefully that insight is valuable to them. So when Pat walks away, she goes, gosh darn, I had no idea that ops companies were dealing with these same fires that we were dealing with. Fires, I'm using it metaphorically, right? On average, Pat, I got to tell you, I won't charge you for the consulting. I am in offices of app companies all day, every day, typically not having offshore people that can write code. I'm just making stuff up here. That is costing these organizations between 150 grand and 3.2 million in top line revenue because they're missing out on projects, not the big projects, not the big ones. You're putting your ace team on that. It's the little onesie twosies. It's the single bases, the doubles. It's the ones that you don't have the resources for to bid on those because there's custom code involved. Pat, how are you dealing with that? Right? Let's even say, Pat, I just let, you smell that? Smoke. I just let Pat know there's a gosh darn fire in her company. Right? Even if she pushes back. Well, it's not that big of a problem. When you say it's not that big of a problem, Pat, can you walk me through what you mean by that? How big do you think it is? Right? Well, I mean, we maybe only lose 10 of those a year. What's the average revenue on those deals? Less than 100. How much less? I don't know, call it 90K to 100, 93,000, right? We only lose about 10 of those. I just found 10 of those a month. What did I find? 1.2 mil, right? My solution doesn't cost that. You know what, Pat? I totally get it. That's not that big of a problem for you. It's 1.2 million a year. That's 3.6 over 3 years, 100,000 a month. But I totally understand why you don't have the resources to deploy to fix it. Based on everything you're telling me, you're a perfect candidate for our offshoring program. What that's going to allow you to do is bid on those jobs without even having to use any resources internally. Does it make sense for me to put over a bid? We can put everything in place, zero cost to you. You only pay as you use the resources, and you're only going to use the resources when you close the deal. Does it make sense for us to put an agreement over so that you can recapture that 1.2 million a year? Right? Simple. Guys, you have to invert the process. You can't knock on somebody's door selling them a fire extinguisher and then telling them about fires. You have to knock on their door and go, you smell that? Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, that's smoke. So what we're seeing is a lot of houses have been smoldering now for months. And the unfortunate news is a lot of times the homeowner doesn't discover it until the damage is already to catastrophic levels. How are you dealing with that? Well, what do you mean, how am I dealing with that? I have smoke detectors. Yeah, but those smoke detectors aren't detecting this kind of smoke. How are you detecting XYZ? Well, I'm not, right? What is that costing you? How much could you gain? How much time could you save? Stop leading with your god darn fire extinguisher and start leading with an insight, and then monetize the problem. Before you sit, guys, sit on your solution. Don't talk about it until you've figured out what it's going to save that person, what that's going to help them make that person, how it's going to make their life easier, and you can articulate it back. Asterisks, okay? You figuring out what it's going to cost them, what it's going to save them, how much time, energy, and effort, and how better their life is going to be is not what you figured out in your head. You already know your product's badass. and it serves everybody. And everybody's a moron if they don't buy it. That's why you jump right into the features, advantages, and benefits and try and sell them some stuff. It has to come out of this area of your prospect's face. They have to say it. So when Pat Oswald says, well, it's not that big of a deal for our organization, we don't lose too many of those. You have to be the consummate professional and go, totally get it. That's good news to hear. When you say you don't lose that many, how many are we talking? Deal a month, right? Deal a month. They're just the throwaways. Got it. How big are those throwaways? 90 G's, right? But we work with companies, our contracts are in the millions, right? That's not a big deal for us. Totally understand. Because of the fact that you had said you're throwing away $90,000 a month, does it make sense for me to put over a proposal? We won't use any of your resources. You won't even know. You're going to be able to recapture that, what is that, $1,080,000 a year. I know that's not a huge amount of money, but it tends to be significant, especially when we add it up over 3 years, right? Yeah, I'll take a look. Versus, hey, we can offload your people. We're all good. We're all set. No thanks. When you lead with the fire extinguisher, nobody wants to talk to you, okay? Abbreviated version of this, the ESP, the Easton Sales Process, which hopefully you guys have all been through. So with that, hopefully I've recalibrated some minds. We are slowing the hell down until you hear differently from anybody on this call or me, or you just magically figure out a way to enter somebody's mind and control them and get them to buy your stuff. Slow down in the beginning. Don't start with a pitch. This is why I can't stand the typical BDR relationship. These BDRs are calling people and they're doing everything they can to get a demo scheduled. And they're costing their companies hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. That BDR should be A, paid more, and B, slow the hell down and deliver insights and be a consultant. They should be called BDCs, business development consultants, right? They should literally be the tip of the spear. And it's going to kill the AEs out there, but the BDR should seem at a higher level than the AE, because the BDR is the one reaching out to the prospect in the first place. We want to reach out from the high level and work our way down, not reach out from the low level and work our way up. The BDR should be saying, man, there is something that every chief security officer is having to deal with. Nobody's talking about it in terms of password management. It's probably the single greatest disaster that's going on with companies with 1,000 employees or more. I just want to make sure you're aware of it, right? And it'd be very helpful for you guys to hear about this, whether you do business with us or not. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm a business development consultant. You're in Houston. I run all of Houston. It's my job to make sure that you're aware of this kind of stuff, whether you do business with us or not. That would be a good way to get deals on the board, right? Talk about the smoke and the fire and what that fire is costing that organization before you even say, hey, I can get you in front of Todd and he'll walk you through how our extinguishers work. The deal should be sold before you ever gosh darn demo. Okay? The demo should just be to prove what you said was what you said, not to sell anybody. They should already be sold. They just need proof. And in many cases, they shouldn't even need a demo at all. Because if they believe you and you don't need to prove yourself, they should sign the contract. Because you're able to say, does it make sense to blank, move forward, so you can blank, capture that $1,080,000 a year in additional revenue that you're walking away from right now. Right now it's $1 million decision. I'm not sure if it's for you, but if you work in sales and you absolutely positively have to double or triple the amount of money you're making in order to truly enjoy your life, click the link here. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Easton University. It's the most effective sales coaching in the world. Click the link here. Check it out. You're going to see we'll give you access to an on-demand learning portal that's going to give you video coaching with me on everything you need to know to double or triple your income, or even more. Everything from prospecting to closing to handling objections and complaints to building your personal network and self-confidence. But it doesn't stop there. Click the link here. You're going to see that when you get a membership to Easton University, you're also going to have the ability to do live coaching with me twice a week. You can ask me any questions. We can work through anything you're struggling with. I will be there with you every step of the way to help you double your income in sales right now. Click the link now. You're going to see we've helped thousands of people just like you and we have the video testimonials from them to prove it. Easton University is more than a learning portal. It's more than live coaching with me. It's your future, and you and your future are worth it. Click the link now. I'll see you at Easton University.